What's up, y'all? It's Aisa, not Asia. This video is not going to be all fun and games because I usually do my talking and my ranting and things over on my channel where I do all my cussing and stuff. But I think that this is an important conversation to have on this channel as well. Uh, there's some things been in the news lately about I would say specifically dealing with catcalling specifically. Um, People are really totally up in arms about Amy Schumer. Apparently, she tweeted something about black men being the people who do catcalling the most. And people are basically saying that just men in general, especially with our rape culture in America, probably worldwide, um, that basically the whole society is kind of sexist, and catcalling is a sexist, discriminatory act performed by men. Um, Here's the thing: when they were doing those studies, I believe they were doing the inner city. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I think we know that there is a hell of a lot of catcalling in the inner cities, in the hood, in places where there are lots of young men standing outside all the time. So I'm not saying that particularly men who are not minority or are not black don't do catcalling, because I've seen, construction sites with apparently if men are outside and women are walking about, they would like to, make sexual advances towards them, try to force them and or coerce them into conversations, say vowel remarks, whistle, things like that. And that would be pretty much across the board, except that there's not always construction going on. And when I was growing up and things were happening to me, I live in a black area, so I'm going to say that it was black people doing it. And I'm not going to say most of the time, I'm going to say all of the time. Now, my experience is not the experience of the world. And of course, anyone can have a different experience than me. But as far as what I can see, the people that I would literally be afraid of, uh, they are in fact black. And there are, I mean, instances where it's not even quite that simple, where I'm like walking down the street. Okay, but there have been times, say I'm 30, all right? I'm a 30-year-old woman walking to the store. I'm a 30-year-old woman who is a college graduate, a member of the largest black female organization, my sorority, and all this. And like, I have to stop and give the time of day to a 17-year-old or a 19-year-old who's outside standing with a group of men. And because he apparently found me attractive and goes on to call me Sh0t, hey, and I'm like, hey, yeah, because you can't not speak to them, all right? And then the hey leads to, hold up. I don't want to hold. I do not wish to speak to you. If I wanted to talk to you, I wouldn't say gone out of my way. I would have at the very least did like a little head nod, like hi, or something like that. But you can't even do that because it kind of gives these people with nothing to do who are standing outside, not going to school, not working, but just being outside, it gives them reason to believe that you are somehow interested and not just friendly person who like to say hello to other black people. Bring some community in there, right? So then me being Sh0t or Bay or whatever the heck people are calling people have to stand there. And then I have to come up with a reason why I can't date this young man, because me telling him that I'm not interested would either be insulting or he's going to really just kind of not believe me. Explaining that I am in a relationship is not going to do anything because apparently I can still have friends. Explaining that he isn't my type, telling him my actual age in comparison to his, my education in comparison to his, there's always a reason why I still have to engage with this person or risk being called a bitch, a whore, stupid, ugly, have people throw rocks at me, and all kinds of other horrific things. Um, there was a West Indian parade, and I believe it was in New York, and there's a young woman who was killed. Okay, apparently some guy came up, he was all up on her, and she told him to get off her, and he shot her point blank range in the face. Her name is Tiarah Poyau. Yeah. So I don't know how to pronounce her name exactly, but yeah. Apparently she was at said festival. Young man did this to her. She was shot in the face. Uh, it gets a little sketchy what happened as far as everything after that, but he did get caught because he did leave, and he went and told at least two people, two friends, that he believed that he shot someone. But he doesn't know, he's not really sure. He does think the gun went off. They said that he went to his girlfriend's house and started shooting in the apartment, and it went through to a neighbor's apartment, and they called the cops. I believe he also brought his gun. He asked someone if he could put his gun at their house, but he wound up leaving it at his actual girlfriend's house. I believe when the cops came, these are things that are part of the story. I don't remember the order. He ran to his car. He was found, drunk, and he, caused an accident. So he crashed into all of this stuff. And yeah, the girlfriend handed over the gun, and it is the gun that killed this girl. So for a man to be this drunk and high, are women supposed to be turned on by that? First of all, just touching people that you don't know is so gross, okay? To be disgustingly belligerent when you're doing so and expect that anyone would desire you in any way, shape, or form is very misguided. And then to shoot someone. He said that he didn't know it was bullets in the gun. I'm just going to say, why even try to scare her and make her believe you were trying to shoot her? Because you have to know that you at least did that, right? It doesn't make any sense. This girl was a college graduate. She's 22, young, very enterprising. She was getting her master's degree, and he's just some jackass on the street who was high and drunk and humping strangers on the street. And what makes it so frightening and so really, really scary for me is the fact that that could have very easily been me. Just reading over one of the articles about her and what happened to her, my sorority sister had shared it or posted it on Facebook, and I shared with her 3 instances that were very, very, very scary. And I guess I'll share them with you guys. I'll try to make it quick. There had been one time when I was out with my niece's son, so my great nephew, and we were going to the store. So there are all the drug dealers standing in front of the store. Really big, dark-skinned guy. And he like, hey, yo, what's up? Blah, blah, whatever. And I'm like, hi. He like, yo, give me a number. I'm like, nah, I'm here with my little boyfriends. Point to my nephew. He went off. Like that sentence, I'm here with my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend. Enraged, this complete and total stranger for whom apparently I was obligated to give my number. Okay? He went on to call me a B word. He called me stupid. He called me ugly. He said my dress was cheap. He called me poor. He said F my nephew. Told me don't be playing with him. He should F me up. All of that. Okay. Very scary situation. And he frightened. I'm there with a 3-year-old. Or he might have been 4. I'm there with a kid, a toddler, whatever it's called. He's scared to death. I'm scared because this guy's a whack job and could very well be packing. Okay, let's just say it. Okay, another situation. Since I'm Greek, I'm in a sorority. I was at the Greek picnic at Jones Beach. I didn't even wear a bathing suit that year. I had on a bathing suit, I guess bottoms, but I had like a regular shirt or something, tank top, with this sort of a tank toppy dress that kind of, flows out at the bottom. Still kind of summery, but, I wasn't walking around in a bikini or anything like that. Me and my sorority sisters were like, all right, well, we're going to walk together to go look at the stuff to buy, t-shirts or whatever. We have to walk in the single file line because there are people everywhere and towels and everything because it's a beach. And I'm the last one on this line. So there's some guys going this way and us going this way. And somebody grabbed my butt, a full-on rah. I was like, who touched my butt? And he turned around, dark-skinned, very angry, bald DMX type character. And he said, I touched your butt, bitch. What the fuck you gonna do about it? He lunged at me with all the anger and fervor of someone whom I had just robbed and or killed a parent or a child. He was with a group of men, and thank goodness that he was, because if they were not there holding him, and I'm telling you, they were holding him for dear life. He was like a rabid dog, and they could hardly even contain him. That he was trying to beat me up and attack me for asking who touched my butt, as if my butt wasn't mine. It didn't belong to me, or I had no right to be policing its activity or his activity with it. Okay, and then another time I was at the Greek picnic in Philly, and I wasn't, doing my usual thing. I had a ton of fun when I was young, doing my sorority stuff, but this year I was chilling. I had on a dress that came all the way down to my ankles. It wasn't even a tank top dress. It had sleeves and everything, the whole 9 yards. I was just chilling. Got a bunch of people down there that are not Greek, harassing people and all kinds of stuff. So they have super soaker water guns. So I'm walking by. Black guy starts shooting at me with the gun, wetting up my dress. My dress is, I was like, you need to chill. He's like, what? I was like, stop spraying me with the gun. I'm like, obviously, you have a water gun. They have water guns. You guys all wear water guns. You obviously want to play with water guns. Like, I get it. It can be fun. Why don't you play with each other, like shooting each other? Like, I don't know what you do with a water gun except what I see little kids do, which is shoot at each other. So it could be some back and forth, not attacking innocent strangers who are walking by. I don't have a gun. This is not a game. I didn't say all that. I simply said, could you stop? And he responded by giving it like the biggest amount of pumps ever. And then he shot it right here. And it hurt. It hurt. It was just like one hard stream of water. And my dress, it was white. So it started to be see-through. I took a step towards him. He punched me in the face. I go down on the ground, and then a bunch of men helped him to escape. A bunch of men helped a man who just punched an innocent woman on the boardwalk. They helped him escape. Nobody helped me. I was bleeding. I had to leave the Greek picnic in a state that I don't even live to go to the hospital to get stitches in my lip because he busted my lip open. When I got there, tons of other people got rushed there. Apparently, all of the thugs that showed up started acting crazy and attacking Greek people. So they were running up to people saying, are you Greek? And ripping girls' shirts off and attacking people and shooting and everything. So I had other sorority sisters, other people who were there in the hospital with me because they fell, they got trampled on. Nonsense. All of that stuff. So and I know that those aren't particularly instances of catcalling, but there are instances of a woman's body being violated, and people taking extreme offense to the fact that you don't like being violated, that you would have the gall to question why someone is able to touch you or harm you in any way. So it's in any of those instances, the anger that those men exhibited towards me lets me know that if there was, in fact, a gun, very, very handy, I would be shocked because that's the kind of anger that they were displaying. And it's scary and it's pathetic. I don't know what can be done. I would say to women who have sons. Some women think that some things are cute. I know I used to be somewhere and I had a friend and her son used to touch my butt. and she thought it was cute, and she was just happy that he wasn't gay. I need you to explain to your son that first off, I'm an adult and he should not be touching me. He should also not be touching little girls his own age. He should not be violating the bodies of other human beings, boys either, men or women, not people. Do not encourage your children to think that it is cute or straight to physically violate other people, to touch other human beings' sexual organs in order for your amusement, or just for any reason whatsoever other than the fact that you two really like each other and said person has asked and or agreed for this situation to happen. So outside of that, if you see your kids doing things that you didn't know they do, because I know a lot of people's mothers, they don't know that their sons are these assholes and all kinds of stuff until they're older. And then you see that he's got kids and he's denying them, even though he was raised without a father and he knows how hard it is. Yep, he's doing the exact same thing his father did. You thought you didn't raise him like that, but you know what? I think that if you don't specifically say the words, don't ever do this, then don't expect it to be known. That is, the situation is so effing scary, okay? And of course, there were other people that were killed, and there were people who were stabbed and all kinds of things. So this young lady, Tiarah, was not the only person killed there, but just the reason that she was killed is what got me so enraged and just out here tripping making this video. So like I said, I don't know the answer. I know something has to happen. If you guys know any constructive way to say get out of a situation of catcalling without angering a psychopath, or things that we could do for the community, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have had any of these frighteningly scary situations happen to you, I know that they are wide, varied, and many. So definitely let me know your stories about the things that have happened to you down in the comments. And my ladies, stay safe. My man followers, keep your hands to yourself, please. And please also hold back your friends who are being disrespectful and attempting to beat a woman up because she didn't like that, okay? Help a sister out, all right? And until the next time, I love you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you again.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please, like I said, excuse the cussing, but I do feel very strongly about this, and if you do too, let me know how you feel down in the comments. While you're here on my channel, swing by and check out my previous video. When you get a chance, you can also swing by and check out my rant, gossip, and reality TV review channel. It's a hoot.
Yeah, like I said, she already been acting real shitty, put money, trying to act like
And as always, my fitness channel offers free workouts for anybody who's interested. Swing by and work out with me.